Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, and we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Simply Chakras. I'm excited. You guys, I'm always freaking excited. So I'm going to say that on every freaking episode that I release, most likely, because I am truly excited. I don't just say that and not mean it and just pump myself up by saying it. I really say it and mean it because I felt it initially, and I need to put some words to those feelings. I am excited. Let's get this party going. Okay, today we have video. Today video is rolling. So this will be up on YouTube. Also, don't forget to follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. And it's now being posted to Spotify. And that's exciting. So hello, maybe you are on the go and maybe the visual is maybe you're driving and distracting with my hands, my jazz hands. So maybe you want to listen to the audio on Spotify. I am now there at Simply Chakras. So go ahead and check that out. Download the episodes because it helps me when you help yourself. Okay, awesome. So if you follow me long enough, you'll know that I'm holistic and you'll get the understanding through my posts of my full moon and my chakra stuff and my mindset. But what I'm really, really good at is the mindset and the energy part. And most importantly, I'm really good on just unmessing with your energy. And we don't cuss here. We don't use bad words. Because then Spotify thinks my content and YouTube thinks my content is explicit. But think of a good word that you can plug in there. I like to unmess yourself and unmess your energy. I have this canny ability to pinpoint messy energy. And when I mean messy energy, I mean your aura. Your aura and your energy and your body, your words, your thoughts, your body just talks to me. And I can pick things up from it. And here's the thing. 99% of the time, I'm just cool, do you, boo? And maybe that's the Libra in me that's able to see both sides of the coin at all times, and also allowing people to just be themselves without me having to intervene, without me to having to be the hero at all times, because that's one of the hardest things, right? Especially if you find yourself being the healer in your community, or you just naturally have healing abilities. One of the first things we want to do is help everybody and fix everybody. But that's the thing that we have to understand and realize, that nobody needs fixing. Because nobody's broken. Nobody needs fixing. And when you just allow people to be, when you just allow people to just be who they are, with beliefs, with patterns, whatever they are, whether they're limiting, whether they're toxic, you can just appreciate the person, because you know that they learned certain behaviors, that they grabbed onto certain belief systems and adopted them as their own. So half the time we're seeing a facet of that person. It's not the whole person, it's a part of that person. And that is the beauty, that through seeing that facet, through those limiting beliefs, through those patterns, whether they're toxic or not, limiting or not, I have a canny ability to read between those patterns, read between those lines, and pull out the real person, extrapolate the real magic that that person has and is, and really allow them to become more of them true selves without those learned behaviors, without those learned patterns. And a lot of the time we have to do some work to do that. A lot of the time we have to do a bit of healing to do that. And the thing is that those patterns and those limiting beliefs create a shell, right? And they create that shell that's sometimes really hard to crack and knock on. And even though the person inside really wants the change and is okay, I'm ready to take that shell off, still that person kind of holds on tightly, even more so to it, because it knows, who am I going to become once I let this go? Who am I if I'm not these things? And that is the scary part, my friend. So I'm really good at navigating. That is my jam, navigating those things. And wow, I could not have said that more beautifully, to be honest. And I'm really proud of that explanation, because I'm really high freaking vibe right now. That was amazing. Okay, so basically, I want to tell you a little bit about me. This episode is a little bit about me and who's doing this podcast, who is behind this voice, who is behind this brand of Simply Jen Rodriguez, who has Simply Chakras. And honestly, what I'm all about is energy. energy and your thought patterns, because energy stems really from not just who you are and what you have and what you carry around you, but new energy is always being created from your thoughts, because your thoughts have the biggest amount of energy. And it is also even said by, oh, who is his name? Not Joe Dispenza, but the other great one from epigenetics, Bruce Lipton. Even he says that thought is 100 times more powerful than chemical medicine. So if you are looking to heal, transform, shape, shift your reality, then thought is the first place we need to begin at. So I have that natural ability to do just that. And yes, I have some learned skill, and yes, it's, taking years of practice and honing that skill in, but that's the thing that I have to pride myself on, because I am known to be a jack of all, what is it, that phrase? Jack of all trades. Yes, that's it. Every time I say jack of all trades, I think of a, oh my God, a jack-o'-lantern, a jackrabbit. Those two things come to mind for whatever reason. See, my mind, that's probably why I'm really good at catching belief patterns and limiting beliefs and seeing where the energy is blocked, because I do tend to think like that. I tend to do word associations, and word associations not only helped me be good in passing tests when I was in school, but words carry energy, and every word is different, and there may be like 5 words to describe one thing, and every word has its own frequency, and that is just my jam, you guys. That is just my jam. So I help really find your words, because you have a distinct vibrational frequency, and the words you use matter. So normally when I do sessions and healings, I tend to use the same words you used, because they resonate with you already. And sometimes I help you find even better words and see how they feel. And when they resonate to an abundant state of mind, then you become more elevated. And that is the magic. So really how this all started, you guys, was when I was pretty young. And I didn't know what I was doing. And when I was like maybe 8, between the ages of 8 and 10, like a lot of crazy things happened to me. And I have some of your, I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't think they're like your run-of-the-mill, like, ghost stories, really, because that was not. I remember very distinctly when I was like 7 or 8 years old about, oh my God, the most just crazy but also amazing experience ever. And it was pertaining ghosts or spirits. And it was unlike anything like I have ever heard or seen. And that's what made it so like interesting. So where I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and my bed was a bunk bed, and I was on the second like bunk bed. And so just that alone, like, when you're like alone and you're a kid and the night is scary and all that good jazz when you're afraid of the dark. So that was me right around that age. So I remember distinctly wanting to get up to go to the restroom, and boy, the restroom just seemed so far, and it was so dark and so scary that I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. Maybe I can hold it till morning. But guess what? I couldn't, because I drank a lot of water that night, even though mom said don't do that. So, man, I was like on the edge of the bunk bed. Like, should I do this? Should I not do this? What happens if I just pee the bed? We can just change the sheets in the morning, right? And I was just like, okay, let's do this. Let's not do this. Let's do this. Let's not do this. And from my bed that was pushed up against the wall, essentially, my sister was on the bottom bunk bed. And so from our bed, I had the view essentially of the main door that opens to the apartment. So I had that view. And then what ended up happening was that the front door swung open. In came this yellow blue light just radiating, and after that light comes a little boy, and the little boy is no older than 6 years old, and he comes in dressed as a little Native American cowboy, I mean, that doesn't make sense, but like a little Native American, like the outfit looks cowboyish, like a little vest and a little pants, but the colors are all like colorful and it's like Native Americanish. And I can't say like the boy is Native American, but just so you can get the context of the colors. And he comes in laughing. He comes directly down the hallway to where the room is, comes into the room, continues laughing, but he's like so excited. He's like, ha 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 ha. He has a stick, like a stick, like he picked up a stick in the yard or something in hand. Ha 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 ha. Goes towards the end of the room, and at the end of the room there's a window, and then with the stick pokes at the blinds of the window, and it's like, ha 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 ha, and then turns around to me and kind of like smiles at me and like looks at me and like, do you want to play type of thing, like, ha ha ha. And I'm just like, what the freak is going on right now? What? Right immediately after that, a lady comes behind the little boy. Lady, same thing, like very typical clothing. By typical, I mean like colorful, Native Americanish, like Aztec, Mexican, whatever you want to call it, like very colorful clothing, native. Comes in, where are you? Where are you? And very like mama bear type of feeling. Very round, big, plump woman. Where are you? Comes down the hallway, comes towards the frame of our room, and just looks at the little boy and says, walking towards him, didn't I tell you? Grabs his hand, starts to walk back out, not to go into people's homes like this. And I'm like, and I'm on the second, like, I'm on the bunk bed, and I'm just looking down at what's going on. I'm like, what is happening? As I'm looking, like, this lady now pull a kid, and the kid is like, still kind of like looking at me, like smiling. The woman takes down the hallway. They go out the door. The blue golden light comes out with them, and the door closes. I was like, pee? I ain't got to pee no more. I'm gonna go under my covers. I don't know what the heck I just saw. I'm just gonna, is it night night? And I fell asleep from fright. I woke up the next day, and I woke up in sweat because I had slept under my cover the whole night. I woke up in sweat that I honestly thought I had peed myself. And when I woke up, I was like, you know, that feeling of like, oh my God, I have to do something. And the first thing I did was go to the bathroom. Second thing I did was tell my mom what had happened. And she was like, well, the door was locked. This couldn't have happened. We always lock the door. And I'm like, no. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but no. And she's like, well, there's nobody like that lives in the apartment building by that description. Like, what could have happened? Maybe it was a dream. And I was like, no. No. So that happened. And I guess that's my first experience with seeing spirits, seeing energy, seeing beings of light, essentially. It was scary because, of course, who comes into your home and like just barges in like that, like rude? But they weren't threatening, and they weren't, I don't know, it just seemed so natural to them to live in that plane of existence where spirits are. And for me, what I have understood and learned, that is a fourth plane of existence where spirits are, and our loved ones go there after they pass away. So that was very interesting for me to experience. And I think from there, a series of events started to unfold, and I started to feel energy. One of the things that I have always been an empathic being, in just feeling unknown energies. Like in that apartment building, call it whatever you want. Like when you're a kid, you're scared of the dark. You're scared of a lot of things, but call it whatever you want. Like I remember distinctively being scared of this one particular hallway in our apartment building that we had to get across and through to get to the laundry place of that building and that floor, and just feeling like something was following me, feeling like something was crawling up the door, something was crawling up the window, up the wall, and just following me. And I had to like pitter patter, get to the next door, close the door, and then like, oh, I'm safe, as if a door was gonna make me safe. But it was a barrier. It was an energy barrier. That door was an energy barrier that wouldn't let that thing go through, whatever it was. And that was just that. And I just grew up like, oh, I'm just a little scaredy cat. I'm just a little scaredy cat. But being older and being more and more into this spiritual and metaphysical realm, and sharing these experiences with my family, my mom, my sister, who lived there with me, of course, they shared that they felt the exact same thing. Even though at that point in time when I was younger, we never discussed that, and it was just like, oh, just don't be scared, you know, like it's fine. As we got older and we started to be like, no, there were some things there, because I felt it too. Did it feel like it would do this and this and this across the wall? And I was like, oh my God, yes. So like having these common experiences growing together, it was just like, okay, something started to develop naturally. And I think a lot of us have these feelings, like, you know, when the phone rings and you know who's going to be on the other end of the phone call, or you think about someone and they end up calling, messaging you, texting you, or they appear the next day. And I think we're elevating to a new level of consciousness where as soon as we think of something or someone, it appears into our reality. So that is the gift that we have, to being able to tap into those other dimensions. And I was blessed enough that growing up, I was encouraged into that realm. So, man, I remember my mom taking me to like all the meditation groups under the sun that she could find. And because she was seeking her own peace and her own answers to life and creator, God, source energy. And I felt like I was just getting dragged through every meditation group in all of Los Angeles. And essentially, I ended up being the youngest one in every single one. By the time I was like 13, I was like meditating, going up, and I was like receiving messages and like seeing and having these amazing visions, and just like describing sceneries and like guides that came up to me and said messages that I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess, okay, this is happening. Where, you know, it was sharing time. Okay, what did we all feel in the meditation? And everybody was like, well, I feel peace, I saw lights, I felt good. And oh, Jen, you probably didn't meditate, but it's okay. What did you experience anything? And I'd be like, oh yeah, like here's a movie of the spirit guide coming to me from the mountains, and vivid trees, and feeling the wind in my face, and like grabbing his hand and grabbing a book that he showed me in words clear. And he was like, what? So things like that happening to me. And another story is that when I went, my mom and I went on a trip to Shasta, and Shasta is a very well-known place for like spiritual things happening there. Like it's just amazing. If you were in the spiritual realm, and you should look up Shasta and like all its things that it has to offer, because like, it has retreats, it has beautiful classes and workshops and all spirituality things. And yeah, so I remember us going to this trip, and I didn't understand what we were going there for. I just went, and it was amazing. It was a beautiful experience. We took a train. It was a beautiful trip. And I guess in the conference, it was like this 2-3 day conference. Again, I was one of the youngest members attending this conference. And I remember that this one person came up to me and said, I like your energy. Would you mind doing a healing for me? And I was like, a what? And she's like, a healing. You know, I'm not feeling very good. No, I lie. See, I'm being like really shy with my gifts. Actually, I remember this lady talking to my mom about her not feeling well. And I actually said to her, can I put my hands on you and do a healing on you? And at that point in time, I did not know what I was saying, what was coming out of my mouth, why I was saying that. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'm open to that. And I put my hands on her stomach and I said, don't even think about it. Just breathe. Okay. And because I remember hearing her talk to my mom about her stomach ache, and it was so bad. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't stand like someone not enjoying being where they were being. Like, you came to this conference, you paid for it, you're in this amazing place with people, energy, and all these things, and I was just not understanding how she could be so uncomfortable with this pain. And I remember putting my hands on her, and I remember thinking, like, God, creator, source, energy, take her pain away so that she can feel better and enjoy herself. And I was like, all right, well, that's that. And she's like, thanks. And I was like, all right, I don't think I did anything, but I think the thought and the gesture counted. And what I didn't know is that word got around that there was this little girl who's like about 12, 13 years old healing people. And I was like, no, that's how rumors get started. Wait, what? That's how rumors get started. So randomly, this lady, we were in this conference, we were in this workshop, sitting, and this lady comes up to my mom and, oh, is this your daughter? Yes, this is my daughter. Oh, how wonderful that she's coming to the conference. This is great. And she's like, yeah, that's great. And she was just so adamantly talking about me. And she's like, yeah, can she put her hands on my eyes? That would be really great. Thanks. And my mom was like, what? And I was like, wait, what? Why am I no, I'm not doing that. That's weird. And yeah, I guess word had gotten around that I was like healing people, and it was just like one person, and it was in the bathroom, mind you. It was in the bathroom. I put my hands on her stomach while in the bathroom. That was just like the random thing. Anyway, word got around, and by the end of the 3-day conference, like I had people coming up to me and saying, hey, like I think you have an amazing gift, and not from what we just heard, but from what we feel and what we've been on this journey of spirituality for a long time, and I think you would be a great candidate for you to heal other people and share your gifts. And we would like to offer you, I remember this, we would like to offer you the opportunity to stay here and open up a healing center with us. And I was like, me? No way. I was like, I'm too young, that's a lot of responsibility, I want to share my life, I want to like have fun, I'm just a teen, like I don't want to do that stuff. Like that's a lot of responsibility. And maybe to some of you out there listening to this, it's like, yeah, wow, how can you put that on a teen, right? But life, destiny, fate has this funny way, the universe has this funny way of course correcting you at all times. And ultimately, that is my mission. That is my overall mission in life, just to heal and share this tools and knowledge with as many people as I can, really. And it's not for me to keep, it's for me to share. And I need to show up more and more. So when I said no to that opportunity, then I could have been like, wait, I don't know what I said no to, but I made a choice and I said no to it. And I had to go through a lot of things in my life to get to where I am now, to be able to share my gifts and share it now. And I'm able to share it from a different place, from a different consciousness, from a different point of view, and definitely from a more open heart. So yeah, I'm grateful for those experiences, and here I am today, and that has led to a series of events that I will love to continue sharing because I have so many stories, like how I started reading the tarot. But I guess I can leave that for another day so that I can keep you enticed with more stories, because I have way more stories to come. So that's what I wanted to share, a little background of me, a little behind the scenes of who I am, where I'm going, and I'll be sharing a lot of things along the way. More of my story when I was younger, and also client stories that I've had, including, maybe I can share one more. Maybe just one more. Okay, now this one is gonna blow your socks away. I don't know if you're ready for this one. This one's extra quantum mechanics, extra metaphysical, boom. And I don't have just one of these stories, I have many of these stories. But this, like, when I'm high vibe, you guys, I just feel into things. And whether it's the tarot, whether it's channeling, whether it's connecting with another being's energy, whether it's whatever it is, when I am connected to source's energy, I'm able to do the work that I need to do. And it's not me, I am just something that I was explaining to someone the other day. I feel more like I am human resources. Human resources bridges the gap between the employee and the employer. And that's what I feel I am. Human resources for source and us, the human beings. So I'm merely just a messenger, you guys. Whenever I connect to source's energy, I can conduct my healings with more ease, more grace, without getting tired, without just like a lot of energy, and a lot of love just comes, and it allows for faster transformations. Not my doing, but source's, creator's energy doing through me, right? So ever since I could remember, I've had this understanding, this knowing of just having this connection to the universe. And in fact, on many occasions, I've channeled many detailed messages through various ways and various clients. It might have something to do with me having a near-death experience when I was 21 days old. I don't know. Could be that. I don't know. But what I do know is that the more aligned I get, the clearer this connection gets. And like I said, I had to go through a series of events, right? A series of choices to get to where I am now. And so it's my superpower that I really love. It's my connection to the universe, that I'm able to receive messages, translate them, and make them into practical tips and action steps that you can implement now. Again, without having to leave all your worldly possessions, go to India and go to the monastery. You can totally do it while living in Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. Hello, Texas. Let's go. So, like this one time, I channeled a message for, let's call him Joe, who received detailed guidance and instructions on how to recreate a musical note in his mind through his own meditations and through his own visions, but was unable to really materialize and recreate that note on the physical realm. Now, he's a musician, he's an artist, and he's an amazing guy. And so I'm just not sure if I can share his name, but he is an amazing guy, which if I'm able to, if he gives me permission, go check out his work, because the music is just next level stuff, you guys. So I remember that we were in this healing circle essentially, and I just started to feel like I needed to channel this message. And I was channeling to a lot of people, and so his particular message was very interesting, because his particular message from the universe, from source, was that his body needed to be aligned with specific vitamins and minerals in order to hold the vibration to create that note. And not only that, he needed specific tools, and he needed specific research, because that note hadn't been created at all. And so the thing he was trying to do was like a fifth dimensional sound essentially into this third dimensional world. And he needed it. The message he received was he needed a specific wood. He needed to do research on whales, their music and their noise, their sound. And he would know what he needed to do with all of that. So the guidance just came through. And when I gave him that message, he was just like, what the freak? Because yes, it was out there. It was very quantum, universal, mechanical stuff, but also because he hadn't shared that project with anybody. And I had no clue, no way of me knowing that that project was in place for him. And that was a magical part for him, was that he had been seeking and asking essentially ways to, how can I make this happen? How can I make this happen? And in his own way, he was like, show me how to make this happen. Show me source, universe, creator, God, who I need to connect to, be with, do to make this happen. And through me, that message came. And that was the most amazing thing, because we were just aligned. Like, he was there, I was there, the vibrational match was there. I was able to receive the message and just boom, just be the messenger, give that message to him. And now he's on that. He was like excited about that. He's on that project now, and it's been easier for him to be able to realize that project with ease. So that's my jam, you guys. Being connected to the universe, channeling those messages. And so that's why I wanted to share a little bit more about myself, because I'm an array of sunshine, and the tarot is just simply one tool. My true connection, my true power lies in my connection to source energy, and really seeing those blocks energy and mindset connections. All right, so that's really my jam, you guys. And I hope to share more and more and more things about manifesting, more things about how to really create the life that you deserve and that you desire ultimately. And that you deserve, I don't say it in a way of entitlement, but I say it in a way of you deserve, because your soul came to this earth with a mission already in place, and you deserve to execute that mission. You deserve to live that life accordingly as creator has it for you. So why not align to it? And I have a little buddy popping up. Cats, hello cats. Cats will be cats. So if you see him pop up on the screen, that's Yogi Bear. Let's see if he makes an appearance. I don't want to tempt him either, because then the camera will be all over the place and oh Jesus. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So that is the amazing part of being here and sharing this space with me. So I want to thank you so much for sharing this space with me. I hope you learned a little bit about myself today and shed a little bit of light about where your abilities are and how we can begin to get to the next level of your abilities. You don't have to do energy healing or be a coach or be a healer or do the work that I do. But essentially, when you are open to those abilities, when you're open to seeing with your third eye, hearing the messages, feeling the messages, knowing the messages, you begin to understand that the universe is working for you and is conspiring for you. And when you have this connection with the universe as well, you can begin to know and trust that everything is just magically synchronized to work in your favor. That is amazing. All right, you guys, so I leave you with that. I would say that today's journaling prompts is how can I become more aware of my intuitive self? How can I become more aware of my intuitive self? And that really works with all your chakras, including your third eye and your crown chakra. It will begin to open up that channel. And a lot of the times, the number one question or the number one feedback I get is that I'm afraid to open that part of myself because of the things I will see. And that scares me. And let me tell you something. You will not receive something that you aren't ready to receive. No, my friend, you won't. Because the universe is always working for you. And whatever you see, you are ready for. You are more than ready for. And fear is just resistance to allowing greater things. Because if we feared everything, because we don't know what's going to happen, what are we going to do? What if the universe wanted to give you $1 million? Oh no, I'm so scared. I'm so afraid. I bet you wouldn't be afraid for that. Because we don't know how the universe works. And all you need is the next 200 feet. I'm always going to say that, you guys. All you need is the next 200 feet. So my journaling prompt for you today is how can you be more aware of your intuitive self? What experiences have you had in your past when it comes to manifesting? What commonalities do you see when it comes to manifesting? I love this because we were able to be really intimate with each other, I feel, and I love sharing and connecting with you guys at all time. I want this to be a two-way street. Even though I'm doing these and these are recorded or you're listening while you're on the go through the app of Spotify, I want you guys to make this a two-way street and leave me some comments below. What are your aha moments? Remember, if the conversation doesn't continue down below in YouTube, it always continues on Instagram, where you guys can follow me if you haven't already at Simply Jen Rodriguez. So I'll leave all of that good stuff in the description box so you guys can go ahead and chat. Let's become friends. So I can't wait to hear your stories. Please share with them. I'll catch you next week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.